Welcome to the St Mike's Youth Podcast. Our series at the moment is St Mike's Youth Chats, where St Mike's Youth chat about stuff. It's that simple. In this week's session, we are going to be just chatting about St Mike's Youth Chats and introducing it, what we do, what we're about. We want to chat informally. It's going to be quite chatty, and there's going to be something that you can take home from it. So, hi guys. How is everyone?
Hi. All right, hello.
How's everyone's week been?
Pretty average. Mainly because of the rain. I feel like everyone's mood's been dampened by the rain. It's good for the garden, obviously, but sad for me and everybody else. Can't go on walks as easily.
Yeah.
Or
it rained solidly yesterday. Like, I was waiting for it to kind of slightly subside to take the dog out, but it didn't at all. Yeah. I don't remember a day like that. Also,
we've been recording for about a minute and we're already on the weather.
Classic English.
So, poor from us. Someone talk about something that isn't the weather.
We're so English. I was wondering, like, are you guys, I don't know if you're feeling the same, but really, I'm really missing, like, the kind of jokes and having fun, and because everything that we do now is so kind of regimented and ordered, and it has to be all planned. I'm missing, like, those spontaneous kind of jokes, or like when we're in the office and picking up the Nerf guns and just having a spontaneous Nerf gun fight, or something like that.
I don't miss you guys having Nerf gun fights in the office. But do miss spontaneous conversations, that's very true.
Yeah.
Miss chatting.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is a bit weird when the your office is like 2 foot away from your bed, and there's sort of no distinction between the two.
Yeah.
It does get a bit weird and just sort of monotonous.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'd agree. It's definitely harder to, like, try and figure out what people are meaning. Like we were saying earlier before, like, about using punctuation in emails and stuff, and just trying to, like, convey your emotion. Like, it's just a bit harder. Like you were saying, everything is on Zoom, everything's over email.
Yeah, and if somebody puts, like, a full stop at the end of the sentence, you're like, they're really angry with me, when actually they could just be putting the correct punctuation in their sentences.
Yeah, it takes me a good half an hour to come down from the anxiety of someone sending me a full stop and thinking they hate me. Using a lot of emojis these days to try and express what I'm trying to express via email or message. Sad times.
Interesting fact. Did you know that emoji has overtaken hieroglyphs as the world's leading pictorial language? And is also the fastest growing language in the world.
Boom.
How have they worked that out?
Yeah.
Do you know?
I can't remember. I remember listening to it on Radio 4 podcast. I can't remember.
Source of all knowledge.
It's probably more factual than this one. So go to the Radio 4 podcast if you want to know why emojis have taken over hieroglyphs.
Yeah. So yeah, this podcast, it's kind of one of those things, we want it to be chatty, don't we? And I love that kind of within the first few minutes we were already on the weather, which is just funny. But yeah, kind of part of the reason we've set this up is so that we can have a bit of a chat on topics that are a bit random, not always to do with God or with kind of theology, but more to do with just life in general. So there's a few little topics that we've got up our sleeves. But yeah, podcasts. Do you guys listen to podcasts at all?
No.
I've been listening to more recently. Just as an alternative. I've been listening to a couple. There's one called The Recess Room that's quite good because I'm a bit weird, so I've been listening to that one.
What's that about?
It's about like I think it's from like the perspective of like healthcare professionals, and they just like talk about different topics, sort of like each episode. So it's quite good to listen in on like their perspective on things.
Nice.
But yeah, I've also been tuning to like different churches and stuff. I've been finding that good to have a listen to.
That's cool. Yeah. I've been listening to the Worship Central podcast. They've kind of gone online a bit like this. It's been really good. And there's John Mark Comer does one on this cultural moment. It's quite intellectual. He uses lots of big words, but he then explains them, so it's really good.
I love that. He uses big words, but then he explains them, so it's fine.
Yeah.
But no, is that the one that you played to us that time when we went on retreat?
Probably.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It was good. I liked it.
Yeah. Yeah,
Interesting.
he's started his third season on that, I think, now. It's very cool.
Talk about long words. For my last essay, I was reading a book by Walter. I can never pronounce his last name. Brueggemann.
Yeah.
Brueggemann.
Walter Brueggemann.
Like that book made me very angry very quickly. The amount of unnecessary words that were in it. I feel like I would feel like it's what would happen if I tried to write a book. I feel I would just make it overly complicated for the sake of trying to make it overly complicated.
Yeah. What's the title of that one again?
That one was
Is that Doctrine of Theology or something?
no, the divine in violence or something along those lines. It was it was a study of Joshua 11, looking at how you justify or how you balance God's divinity and the violence in Joshua 11.
That's cool.
But
Yeah,
like I say, yes,
Yeah.
she has a same. I've not read that one yet.
Yeah, she's principal at Baptist College in Bristol, and she's done like a doctorate or kind of PhD on violence in the Bible. She's like an expert in it. It's very, very cool. Maybe we'll get her on. That would be fun.
Yeah, give her a shout out now. If you want to join in, let us know.
Come and join us, Helen, if you want to join.
Yeah.
She'd probably be well up for it.
Get involved, Helen.
Yeah. But yeah. So kind of lockdown. How are people feeling about it now?
I'm feeling a bit better in general. Like at the start, it was harder because like you can see an end, but now that everything's slowly starting to go back to normal, I feel like it's a bit easier to manage. Like I've been going out a lot more frequently recently. I went back to school this week for the first time
Ooh.
on Wednesday.
How was that?
It was good, but it was weird. Like everything's changed. There's tape everywhere. There's cones and chains and stuff all over the place. And basically, like when you walk in, you have to get like a zapper in the head, basically. And that takes your temperature, and you have to hand sanitize all the time and social distance. And there's a one-way system, which makes no sense. You have to go outside and around the building, and then back in. So it's all very confusing, but it was good fun to get out and see friends.
Yeah. The
That's
zapper sounded horrible as you explained it. It sounded painful.
Just you get
Especially
shot
with
in
the
the head as
action.
you walk in there.
People won't be able to see the action, but Freddie like poked himself in the head like zapper. But yeah, I'm glad it just takes your temperature. That's good.
I was just thinking, I think I watched too many sci-fi films because I'm just thinking like laser pointer kind of dot red at the head, red dot in the middle of your head. But that's really weird. I went to Cribs Causeway the other day because it's Rachel's birthday soon, so I'm looking at presents and stuff. And it's genuinely like you walk in and they're like, please stick to the one-way system, and then it's like snakes and ladders. There's like tape and kind of walkways, and there's arrows on each walkway, and to get from there to there you've got to go round and all the way around. it felt like I was in a maze, like a little kid. You've got to go round that one and then that one and then. Yeah.
I haven't
This is
actually been.
ages.
I haven't actually been to any shops yet in lockdown that's that bad. Like my mum asked me this morning if I wanted to go out to the shop and grab something. I was a bit like, no, not really. I feel like it's just so awkward to try and like follow the system when I don't want to get it wrong. It's just a bit.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, to be honest, since lockdown I've been out 7 times, none of which to shops. Yeah, I've been really poor at leaving the house. I feel like for me it's just easier to just stay in. So there's been times I've like dropped things over at my grandparents or whatever, or like been on walks, but yeah, I don't know, I find it more stressful to go out than to just stay in. But yeah, shops. I walked the dog down to the shop and my dad went in the shop and it just looked quite confusing. There was a lot of people. Yeah, he's had his jabs, so since last Saturday he's been allowed out. So he's been on some walks.
Yeah, Megan's got a puppy, by the way.
Oh yeah.
It's very cute.
It just consists of, because obviously people can't come near us, so it just consists of people going, he's cute, from like across the road. A lot. So just heckled from afar.
Nice.
But yeah, he seems to quite like it, going out and about. It must be quite strange. Yeah, because you've stayed inside and then suddenly there's a whole world out there that you didn't know about and was kept from you. But yeah, so it's been a nice excuse to get out of the house, to walk the dog.
Nice.
A few times before Tyree was allowed out on her own, I took her out in a bag. So like I would carry her in a bag, and she just loved seeing the outside.
Yeah, we did that. We carried him round like in our arms a few times the week before he had his jabs, just because to get him like used to the traffic. I think the vet said it was a good thing to do, so we took him round. But yeah, it was really cute because he was like scared and he like puts his head into your neck and in your hair. It's really sweet. Oh, I know. Anyway, enough puppy content.
Yeah.
Then he pulls your nose ring out.
Yeah, he did do that. That was the thing that happened.
Painful.
Yeah. More painful than a zapper.
Yeah, I've been out probably at least once a week doing all the shopping, and I think the best. It's really weird when you go shopping. Like, depending on which store you're in, it's either quite nice or really stressful. I think the most stressful has been Lidl, because there's not really a one-way system. There's not really any kind of distance kind of regulations. I think the least stressful though was Tesco, because they have a one-way system on all the aisles. It was a nightmare because I didn't know which aisle was which, so you have to go down one and then you can't go back up it, and if you want to go to like the one end of it, you have to follow the one-way system, so it took me about twice as long.
Yeah. I mean, Aldi stresses me anyway, because is there a system? Anyway, the items are just... I can't find anything. I know. They're like, and they have, in our local Aldi, they have like I don't know if they have it everywhere else, I mean, I presume they do. On the like conveyor belt, they have like 2 sections at the end. So as soon as you're done, they've moved the bar, and then they start doing the next one. It's like... And then you have to try and pick up all your stuff. I find it very stressful.
Yeah.
I mean, it's good, speedy, efficient. But yeah, they've got one of those bars so that they can literally start on the next person before you've finished.
Yeah. I realised that Lidl and Aldi, they expect you just to put the items in your trolley and then pack them on the like windowsill. And when I realised that, going there is so much less stressful. Because you just literally, as it comes off the till, you just put it straight into your basket, and then you go and pack it in exactly the way you want to.
That makes so much sense. And like me thinking there was a lack of a system, there's just a system that I didn't understand clearly.
Yeah. So, somebody told me and I was like, oh, mind blown.
That's why they all hang around on that thing. I wonder why people just dilly-dally on that thing.
And that's why they've got that thing all the way across like the little breakfast bar. I've always wondered what it was until somebody told me, and I was like, that is brilliant, because then it reduces the amount of queuing, unless you've got people that don't know that system, in which case... they're very
E.g.
annoying.
me, who just clogs the whole thing up,
And
clearly.
slow. But yeah,
Gosh.
there you go. That can be the take home from today.
Yep.
When you go to Aldi or Lidl, put your stuff in your trolley and then pack it in the way exactly you want to, because you know you can't always put it on the conveyor belt in the right order. Makes
there you
life so simple.
Educating the masses.
Yeah. So yeah, this has been the St Michael's or St Mike's Youth Chats, and we chatted about the weather, supermarkets, puppies, and many more. We'll see you on the next episode of St Mike's Youth Chats. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.